Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good people from wherever you're watching from. This is Blossom Benter, yet again with another video. In today's video, I just it's like a continuation of yesterday's video. Yesterday's video was about circumcision among boys, or rather men, yeah, but among boys, because it's a transition from boys to men. So today being a month, not today, but this month being a month of circumcision, I just wanted to tackle on that and touch on that and talk about it so that at least we can move on to another thing. So yesterday I was very specific. I was dealing with boys, circumcision on boys, mainly on boys. But today now I wanted to talk about circumcision, but in girls. And in girls it's called female genital mutilation. Female genital mutilation, and this is something that is known, and it's common in Africa. Yes, it's very, very common in Africa, amongst different communities in Kenya, yeah, in Tanzania, in Uganda. Yes, I know they do it. Female genital mutilation. Female genital mutilation. What is it? It is the cut. It is like a circumcision, but it's different, being that this one is the cutting of the clitoris amongst the women. Yes, the cutting of the clitoris of women's clitoris. That is what I mean by female genital mutilation. And nowadays nowadays it's being shunned upon. Yes, it's being shunned upon. Most communities are shying away from doing it. There are other communities that are still doing it, and also there are also other communities that are doing it, but in hospitals. Yes, because a long time ago, or in the olden days, or back then, it used to be done in the villages, and it was like a must, yeah, for it to be done amongst different, not all the communities, but among specific communities. It was being done, and it's still being done, though it's being done in secret. Yes, it is being done in secret, because the government currently, most of the government, or rather the government in Kenya is against it, and most of the human rights activists are also against it. They are fighting for it to end. Because why are they fighting for it to end? Because first of all, it's causing a lot of harm than good to the girls, because it's normally done to the girls. So it's really causing a lot of harm to the girls, because these things are being done by old women. So one of the reasons why it's being shown upon, and human rights have come, have gotten so much into it. Yes, because one of the main reasons is because, first of all, it lowers women's dignity. You can imagine just sitting there spreading your legs, and then somebody is coming to touch your vagina, cutting your clitoris. Then what else? And that is the pleasure, by the way. At the end of the day, that is where the pleasure is coming from, and now somebody wants to get it away from you. Okay, another reason why it's being shunned upon, it's because of the bleeding. Yeah, most of the girls, because these people that are doing this mutilation, these people that are doing this female mutilation are not experts. They are old women. Yes, they used to practice, or maybe they have been taught by, they also been taught by their grandmothers. So they don't have that expertise when it regards to touching of the, not even touching, to the cutting of the clitoris, because clitoris is something that is very sensitive, very, very sensitive. NMS, hey, that is a problem. So these women, these old women, they don't know how to go about it, though they claim to be very expert on the cutting of the clitoris. They're still not that expert, because there is nowhere where they learned it from, scientifically, medically. Yes, they never went to school to learn how to cut it. They just learned it from maybe their mothers, their female relatives. Let me put it that way. They only learned it from their female relatives. And nowadays things have changed. It's not like the olden days whereby you can just go and take a knife and just do whatever you're doing. No, nowadays things have really changed. So another reason why it's being shunned, I was talked about two reasons. First of all, it lowers women dignity. That's one of the reasons why it's not longer, people are no longer interested in it. Most of the communities that used to do female genital mutilation thing. Secondly, they not those people who are doing it, the people who are practicing it, the women, they are not fit medically to do it. Yes, they're not fit medically to do it. So in case of any trouble, they don't know how to go about it. Secondly, the things that are using, the knives or the, what do you call it, the blades that they are using to do the cut, yeah, to cut the clitoris, they're not like, you know, most of them are not sanitized. And you know, with this era of HIV and AIDS and other chronic diseases, yeah, sexually transmitted disease, or in, like something of that sort, you know, in this era and time, you're not supposed to be sharing these equipment. You're not supposed to be sharing these equipment, because as much as maybe you will be doing it on on a girl who is a virgin, it doesn't mean that that girl is 100% safe, or 100, yes, let me say safe, because nowadays kids are born even with HIV, so you never know. Maybe this one has HIV, and then you're using the same knife or the same blade to cut on the other, like on the other child or on the other girl. So it will end up in the spread of HIV, which is very chronic, which is very common. In fact, it's very common among the African communities. So that is another one. The third one is also lead to bleeding. Yeah, so at times it can cause, it's one era, it causes a lot of bleeding amongst the girls. It causes a lot of bleeding, and most of them, like in some cases, the girls normally bleed to death because they don't know how to go about it. Like I'd already said before, they're not medically fit to do it. These women that are practicing it, they're not medically fit to do them. So it causes also bleeding, and then also afterwards there are a lot of things that takes place, that happens behind the camera, because most of the people that are doing this, the women that are doing this, they're not doing it. There's something okay, there's something afterwards. After they've done that, there's something. Oh, that I'm coming to that. Yes, I'm coming to that. I don't want to hurry, so I'm coming to that. So which communities practices these things? Because it's still going on. It's something that's still going on, though people are now doing it in secret. And also there are some girls that are still insisting that, okay, this is something that is common, this is something that even my mom, yeah, to them, my mom also underwent, my grandmother also underwent, my other relatives, my other female relatives also underwent. Why shouldn't I do it? So they will find out that they're doing it, but in secret. Yes, they are doing it, but in secret. So most of the communities, especially in Africa, in Kenya, who are still doing it, or who are doing it, are the Maasais, the Kuria, the Kisses, and the, who else? The Turkana and Pokot. Those, like, there are almost 5 tribes in Kenya that used to do it and are still doing it. Yes, and are still doing it, but in secret. So first of all, let us tackle the Kisses. The Kisses are known for their high sexual urge. There's this person that says that if you get a Kissy lady, yes, if you have a Kissy girlfriend, as a girlfriend, lighting that fire, you know what I mean by lighting the fire. To start to ignite that fire takes time, but after you've ignited the fire, to cool it down is also another problem. As in, the sexual urge is there, on top notch. Their sexual urge, they are sexually active, and this sexually active leads them, always makes them, not always, but in most cases, makes them to be like very unfaithful. Yes, let me say that, to be very unfaithful to their spouses or partners or husbands. Yeah, always makes them to be very unfaithful because they are not satisfied. The female, they are girls. The girls from the females from what do we call it? From the Kisii region. Most of them, they have high urge when it comes to sex. So one of the reasons why, okay, the community decided to have them cut their clitoris was because of that. So that to them it is like releasing the sexual urge. So they normally undergo it so that they can they can reduce the sexual urge. So they believe that if at all the girl is not cut, the sexual urge is going to be there on top knot, and she's not going to stay in her marriage, because she'll be like wanting every Tom and Dick and Harry that comes her way. So that is one of the reasons. The couriers and the kisses, courier and kisses, their sexual urge, the ladies' sexual urge is very high. So they used to do it, and they're still doing it. They're still doing it to reduce that sexual urge, so that at least they can stay in their marriages and at least be faithful to their husbands, so that at least they don't break their marriages and they don't break their homes. So I've tackled two communities that are doing the reason as to why two communities are doing it. The kisses and the courier. Then we go to the, who else? We go to the Pokot, and mostly the Maasais. The Maasais, the plain Nilots, the Maasais were doing it, and they're still doing it. Even the Samburus, the Maasai, the Samburu, the Turkana, and the Pokot. They used to do it. Right now they're still doing it, yeah, but in secret. So in the Maasai, it was like a rite of passage from one stage to another stage. It was like a rite of passage, and they used to do it before the girl gets to the age of 18. That was a must. That was a must to any girl. Before you get married, you couldn't get to any Maasai ladies, and even the Pokot and the Turkana, Samburu, Rendile, yes. A girl cannot get married, used to not get married. Nowadays, I am not so sure, but in those time, time, their girls, or rather their women, you couldn't marry a girl that is not circumcised. In short, didn't undergo that female genital mutilation. The clitoris wasn't cut. If I told you your clitoris wasn't cut, that means that you're still a girl, and you're still a girl, and you're still a child, and a child cannot get married. So that they used to do it, and they're still doing it, so that at least they can pass another path. They can go to another stage of life. And after being cut, you'll find that after these girls have been cut, what follows next is marriage. However young you are, even if it's 14, because in most cases you'll find that a 14-year-old is getting married to a 60-year-old, a 50-year-old, a 40-year-old. That is their norm. That has always been their norm. After you've undergone the rite of passage, and in the rite of passage here, I mean the mutilation part of it. After you've undergone the female mutilation, FGM, female genital mutilation. After that, you're supposed to be getting married. By then, their family members, your family members, or rather your father, would have already gotten somebody else who is supposed to be marrying you. So after that, you're just being married off. That is how they used to do it. That is how they used to do it. It doesn't matter whether you're still in school and you haven't completed your education. It doesn't even matter. Once you are done with that, once you are done with the female genital mutilation, what follows next is marriage. Chap. You just go and get married, because now you are a woman. That was their norm, or is still their norm. So most of the NGOs have come against it. I've been so much against it, and they're really trying so hard so that at least the girls can go to school. Because once the child has, and that's the reason as to why we have a lot of rescue homes. Yeah, girls rescue homes. And these NGOs have come up so that at least they can help these girls that are being forced into forced marriages, or forced to undergo the female genital mutilation, because they know the impact. They know the impact. They really know that after this, I'm going to start my family. And most of them don't want that. Most of them are liberated and they want to go to school, at least so that they can at least bring some change in their lives, you know, because most of the people that are coming from that place, the Maasai, the Pokot, the Redilo, you know, most of them are nomads. And in nomads here, I mean that they walk from one place to another looking for pasture and food for their animals. They don't stay in one place. Yeah, they normally don't stay in one place. And after this, and that is a kind of like life that most of them don't want to undergo again, because it's a very, very difficult and cumbersome life. Moving from one place to another each and every year, or maybe each and every time, it's cumbersome because it disrupts the child's education. And that is that is what these girls don't want. They want to have a free life whereby at least they can have a say in their marriages and in their homes. Yes, where at least they can bring change to their lives and the lives of their family. So most of them don't want this. So you'll find that most of these girls that are being forced into these forced marriages, or they are being forced into having this female genital mutilation, most of them are running away from home and going to these homes, yeah, this rescue homes, so that at least they can be helped, and so that at least also they can have a change in their lives. They can continue with their education and try to bring change in their lives and in the lives of their community and in the lives of their what do you call it, their parents. So that is the difference between circumcision when it came to boys and circumcision, let me just say circumcision when it comes to girls. Though the circumcision towards the girls side is called female genital mutilation, which is very dangerous nowadays, very, very dangerous. Though people still, a lot of NGOs are working on it, even the government have gotten involved in it, and most of the people are being arrested because of that, because a lot of lives has been lost. A lot of lives have been lost, and that is something that is very dangerous. And it's common, baby. It's common. Though nowadays they're reducing. Yeah, they're really trying as much as possible to reduce, so that in fact most of the NGOs have come up with other ideas on how to help these kids to transit, the girls to transit, that it's not always about having your genitals cut, so that at least it can show you that you've grown, so that it can show you that you've changed from one stage to another. Yes, they try to bring some change so that they can see how things are supposed to be going, so that they can also be like other communities, because there are a lot of other communities. Like in Kenya, we have like over 42 sub-tribes, and this over 42, like you'll find that 30 they don't do this. So they also want to be like other communities, and they're trying so hard. These girls are really trying so hard, so that at least they cannot do what they cannot undergo what their mothers underwent. And even their mothers are really trying. They are really trying, because you'll find that this is a collaboration between the mother and the girl, whereby you notice that, hey, no, the man of the house, or rather the husband, wants to like marry off your daughter. It is the mother that always come up against it and try to hide her daughter, so that her daughter doesn't go undergo the genital mutilation, the female genital mutilation, because they really know after this it's just marriage. There is no say about that. After that, it's just marriage. It doesn't matter however young you are, doesn't matter. Once you've finished with the mutilation part of it, just get married to an older man. So guys, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, and if you're watching and you haven't liked, even liking, do something. Kindly like, comment, leave a comment, turn on your notification bells, and remember to tell a friend to tell a friend. Yeah, tell a friend to tell a friend, and remember to share. Till then, see you when I see you.